The dark night of the soul. Have you ever heard about it? Have you ever heard that phrase? That's what I want to talk with you about today. The darkness of the soul, the dark night of the soul, and how to transform that.
Welcome to Lift Carry Sisters, your weekly inspiration series designed to uplift your spirit and strengthen your resilience. Every Sunday, we dive into powerful themes like emotional toughness, mental health, self-improvement, and personal empowerment, exploring how we as women over 40 can lift others while carrying our burdens with grace. Through motivational stories, practical tips, poetry, and readings from scripture and other spiritual texts, this series will inspire you to embrace challenges and rise above them, empowered and ready to support those around you. Let's get started with this week's serving.
The power of silence lies not in its emptiness, but in the ability to listen. The quieter you become, the more you can hear and the more you understand. Embrace the art of listening and you will discover a world of hidden beauty and meaning.
I want to talk with you today about stillness, silence, as we transform. A lot of people have probably heard the phrase, the dark night of the soul. I have been through that darkness, the dark night of the soul, several times in my life, and I'm sure many of you too have had that experience. It's not something that happens once, it can happen several times, and right now I am not experiencing a dark night, but it is relevant to the conversation about stillness, silence, and transformation. So let's go. Never, ever regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness. Bad days give experience. Worst days give lessons. And best days give memories. So never regret. As a background, just so you understand, I'm going to share a short clip about the origins of the term Dark Night of the Soul, which, just to say, originated with St. John of the Cross. It's a Spanish 16th century mystic who wrote about the Dark Night. And basically it refers to a period of spiritual crisis or any crisis in your life that you're dealing with. Listen to this and we'll talk after.
The term Dark Night of the Soul originates from the Spanish poet and mystic, St. John of the Cross. In his poem, he describes a spiritual crisis that leads to profound personal transformation. This transformative experience often involves feelings of despair and abandonment. The phrase symbolizes a journey through darkness towards enlightenment or a higher self. Throughout history, many philosophers and spiritual leaders have referenced this concept. It reflects the universal struggle faced during periods of deep questioning and self-doubt. The dark night is not just about suffering but a prelude to awakening. Modern psychology also examines similar themes in personal development and healing. This term continues to resonate with individuals seeking growth through adversity. In summary, the dark night of the soul is a profound experience of transformation.
Another word or phrase maybe that I want you to understand and appreciate is alchemy. That's the word. But then alchemy is the purification of anything. Usually it's talking about purifying elements to gold. But in this instance, I'm talking about spiritual alchemy. And this all relates to stillness, silence, and transformation. So here's a clip about alchemy and what it has to, how the effects of spiritual alchemy. Okay, let's have a listen.
Welcome to the journey of spiritual alchemy, where transformation begins. The first stage is calcination, where we confront our ego and false beliefs. Next is dissolution, symbolizing the breaking down of our limitations. In separation, we discern what serves our higher purpose. The stage of conjunction represents the merging of the spirit and matter. Then comes fermentation, where new ideas and insights arise. In distillation, we refine our thoughts, removing impurities. The final stage is coagulation, where the true self is realized. Spiritual alchemy is a continuous journey of becoming. Embrace these stages to transform your life and consciousness.
So, here we are. What does any or all of this, dark night of the soul, alchemy, have to do with stillness and transformation? Well, here is the thing. No transformation, true transformation, deep transformation can happen in noise. It happens in stillness. Alchemy, did you notice it talked about fermentation, distillation? That's all done in silence. And as I said in the opening, I am at this point going through this process. I'm not in a dark night of the soul period, but I'm in a transformative, yet again, period. And I have chosen that I'm going to be still and I'm going to be silent. The only reason I'm talking about this today is because of the effect that it has on our page, on our platform, because we are transforming the Daughters of Shiva Foundation. What it will look like at the end of my period, because the Daughters of Shiva Foundation is me. And what it will look like at the end of the period, I don't know, because like a butterfly, like a caterpillar in its cocoon, that's where we are, in stillness and in silence. And if you wish to transform, you have to do that in stillness and in silence. Let's talk about it.
In a world filled with noise, we often overlook the power of silence. Silence allows for reflection, giving us space to hear our inner voice. Stillness creates a sanctuary where thoughts can settle and clarity emerges. When we embrace silence, we unlock the door to personal transformation. In stillness, we can connect with our true selves, away from distractions. The whispers of our heart become louder when surrounded by quiet. Silence is where creativity is born, allowing us to imagine and innovate. It lets us process emotions and find resolution in our thoughts. In stillness, we gain perspective, seeing life's challenges more clearly. Allow moments of quiet to recharge and rejuvenate your spirit. Personal transformation begins when we choose silence over chaos. Let silence guide you on your journey towards a deeper understanding. Discover the strength that lies within, waiting in the stillness. Embrace silence and stillness. They are vital for profound change. Transform yourself by making space for quiet in your daily life.
So silence, while good for you and absolutely necessary for transformation, silence benefits not just you, it benefits everyone around you. It benefits your community, it benefits your relationships. So we did a video about this some time ago. Let's have a listen to a clip of that video about silence and 5 situations in which to be silent. And this is one of them when you're going through transformation.
Has anyone ever told you that sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing at all? All of it may seem counterintuitive in a world that values self-expression and speaking your mind. But I've discovered that there are certain situations in life where silence truly is golden. You see, words are incredibly powerful. They have the ability to heal or to hurt, to inspire or to discourage, to clarify or to confuse. And once they leave our lips, we can never take them back. That's why it's so important to choose our words carefully and to know when it's best to stay silent. I've identified 5 key situations where holding your tongue and embracing silence can be the wisest. The first situation is when you're angry or upset. We've all been there when someone says or does something that pushes our buttons, and we feel that surge of emotion rising in our chest. Our face flushes, our heart races, and we have the overwhelming urge to lash out, to give that person a piece of our mind.
The second situation where silence is golden is when you're tempted to gossip or speak badly about someone. Let's face it, we have all engaged in a little bit of gossip from time to time. It can be tempting to bond with others over shared grievances or to feel a sense of superiority by putting someone else down. But gossip is a dangerous game. Not only does it erode trust and damage relationships, but it also reflects poorly on your own character. When you speak badly about someone behind their back, you're revealing more about yourself than you are about them. Silence is the way to go when you're in the presence of someone who is grieving or going through a difficult time. When someone we care about is suffering, our first instinct is often to try to fix the problem or to offer words of comfort and advice. We want to say something, anything, to ease their pain and to make them feel better. But sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply to be present.
Situation where silence is the best approach is when you're in a heated argument or a contentious debate. We've all been in those situations where emotions are running high, where opinions are clashing, and where everyone is talking over each other trying to make their point heard. It can be tempting to jump into the fray, to raise your voice, and to try to dominate the conversation. After all, you have important things to say, and you want to make sure that your perspective is being considered. But here's the thing. When everyone is talking, no one is listening, and when no one is listening, no real communication or understanding can take place. All that and to communicate with care and compassion.
The fifth and final situation where silence is the best policy is when you're in doubt or unsure of what to say. We've all had those moments when we're put on the spot where someone asks us a question or makes a comment that catches us off guard. Our mind goes blank and we feel pressure to say something, anything to fill the awkward silence. But here's the thing, there's no shame in admitting that you don't have all the answers or that you need some time to think before responding. Give yourself permission to be silent. You do not always have to be on like a radio. As they say, people might think you're a fool, but no need to open your mouth and prove them right. Be silent. Know when to speak and when to be silent. Be still and know that I am God, Psalms 46:10 tells us. So those are all ways that silence, stillness will help your personal transformation, get you through the dark night of the soul. You are not going to experience any change, any real transformation without this kind of silence, even in your interpersonal relationships. So this is why I replay that video about the 5 situations in which to remain silent. It is something that we can practice throughout our life. It is something that I am practicing now as I go through this alchemical period of my life. And as I said, this is not the first time. It probably won't be the last. And neither will it be the last for you.
The power of silence is ultimately about creating a world of greater peace, understanding, and love. When we choose to be silent in moments of anger or judgment, we create space for empathy and compassion to arise. When we listen deeply to those who are grieving or in pain, we offer a healing born of presence and care. When we approach difficult conversations with curiosity and respect, we build bridges of understanding and cooperation. And when we take the time for reflection and discernment before speaking, we bring more wisdom, integrity, and care to every word we utter. These are the building blocks of a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world.
Thank you for joining us for another empowering episode of Lift Carry. We hope today's session left you feeling inspired, stronger, and ready to tackle the week ahead with renewed resilience. Remember, life may bring challenges. but you have the strength to carry your burdens with grace while lifting others along the way. Don't forget to meet us here every Sunday for more motivation, practical tips, and uplifting stories that empower your spirit. Until next time, stay strong, keep lifting, and carry yourself with purpose and confidence.